for inviting me to speak on this fundamental topic. I would also like to thank and compliment all the speakers for your inspiring words. I am Aminata Niakate, lawyer at the Paris Bar and president of ECPM, Ensemble contre la peine de mort, Together Against the Death Penalty, benchmark organization in the fight for universal abolition of the death penalty, founder and organizer of the World Congresses Against the Death Penalty held every 3 years. For the very first time, under the high patronage of the German Federal Foreign Minister, the co-sponsorship of European Union, France and Switzerland, and the support of the Norway government, the next edition of the World Congress Against the Death Penalty will be held from the 15 to 18 November 2022 in Berlin, right between the preliminary vote by the UNGA Third Committee in November and the vote by the UNGA plenary session in December. This timing made it possible to place the vote on the resolution at the heart of mobilization around the Congress, which will definitely constitute a lever for the moratorium campaign, with a view to ensuring and contributing to the continuation of the progress in voting results observed over the past 15 years. The 8th World Congress Against the Death Penalty will aim to reinforce the involvement of political, legal, associative, and academic actors from all 5 continents and promote dialogue and the exchange of good practices. Specifically, impact studies demonstrated that the congresses, acting either as a trigger or a catalyst to mobilize the abolitionist community, have facilitated the emergence and implementation of advocacy campaigns for the adoption of the UN resolution on the moratorium, through the presence of actors from across the world, the organization of side events, and ad hoc informal meetings. The 8th World Congress will once again welcome a large number of participants. We are expecting over 1,000 delegates, including over 30 ministers and high-level officials, 200 diplomats, 700 members of civil society, as well as less conventional actors from private sector. By strengthening the action and cooperation between those actors, states are encouraged to make concrete commitment toward abolition, including expressing their support to the UNGA moratorium resolution on the use of the death penalty. As a major and widely publicized international event, states are even invited to announce those positive steps during the World Congress. The 8th World Congress will specially focus on the empowerment of young abolitionist actors in the fight against the death penalty to sustain the movement in the long term. By bringing out wills and leaderships among this generation on this specific theme, we will ensure the global trend towards abolition visible through the growing number of positive votes in favor of a universal moratorium on the use of the death penalty. Despite visible improvements, the fight against the death penalty is still very much alive. It is more than necessary to maintain our efforts. Therefore, we'd be very honored to count on your presence in Berlin for the 8th World Congress Against the Death Penalty, key event in the abolitionist campaign. We would also like to thank Germany for hosting the Congress, as well as our co-sponsors, France, Switzerland, the European Union, without whom the holding of the 8th World Congress would have been impossible. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the panelists for sharing their